Good evening, MCEA members, and welcome to our State of the Union address. I am honored to be nearing completion of my second year serving you as president of our union. As we prepare to consider our budget, I thought this would be a perfect time to look back at what we've done, examine our current challenges, and consider the work we have ahead of us in the next school year. MCEA is one of the largest and most respected local affiliates of the National Education Association. And NEA is the largest union in the country. Other locals look to MCEA as a leader in transforming successfully to being member-led and to having effectiveness in growing member power and improving working and learning conditions for ourselves and for our students. As I've visited schools and work sites across the county this year, I've seen firsthand the amazing work that we're doing with our students every day to get them back on track after 3 years and counting of turmoil and struggle. I've also seen the great work members have been doing to use union power to effect needed changes at our work sites and reclaim our profession. The challenges are real. We're dealing with a rough political winds in which we are mistakenly blamed for the pandemic's effects on learning. We're falsely accused of grooming children and unfairly criticized for teaching the truth about our history. We watch as more and more of our colleagues head for the exits due to burnout. And staffing shortages and a lack of substitute teachers have made more work fall on the shoulders of those of us who remain. The mass exodus of educators is unfortunately still underway. It seems everywhere I go, there are colleagues telling me this is their last year. And when I talk with students about their career plans, it's a rare kid who is even considering teaching as a possibility. In recent days, I've heard from 2 more teachers who are leaving MCPS and the education profession altogether at the end of the year. A kindergarten teacher with 5 years of experience told me, "I love my students, but I'm so burned out. So much is piled on my plate, I'm always worried about what I can't get done." They're also ready for a life in which they don't have to moonlight all year to pay the bills. They want a job that will help them have the money to settle down and start a family. A middle school teacher told me that they too have had it. With 15 years of experience and 2 children approaching high school, they want a better work-life balance and more professional respect. They're exhausted from covering multiple classes a week, sometimes multiple classes a day, leaving them to do planning and prep work on their own time. They tell me, "I want to be with these kids, that we have great relationships, and I really care about them, but I can't keep this up anymore." So you may be surprised to hear me say, we're in a great moment of opportunity in public education and in the labor movement. That's because we're finally getting the public attention to the crisis happening in our schools. Elected leaders and residents are finally recognizing that big changes and new investments are needed to restore the excellence MCPS once had. They see that if they want to attract and retain talented, dedicated educators, we need adequate funding and manageable workloads. In that vein, let's take a moment to celebrate some of the progress we've made this past year. This year, we increased member involvement in our union with a successful union summer program, and we increased our capacity to engage members at their work sites by ramping up our member organizer program. 6 of our colleagues took leave from MCPS this year to work alongside our UniServe staff to help members find their power and effect changes in their buildings. These member organizers will return in the fall to positions in MCPS where they can continue to help develop stronger union cultures and foster new leadership at their work sites. And a new cadre of member organizers will be coming on board at MCEA this summer. We've also been expanding our leadership development and professional development opportunities in MCEA. We've had multiple training opportunities for building reps. The leadership conference was held in person this year, and provided members a chance to gain new skills and knowledge that increase their power to organize others and achieve needed changes. We continue to facilitate support for members seeking national board certification, and we're scheduled to hold our first in-person professional development conference in May. We've also had success with our political program. In a huge victory for public education, nearly every Apple ballot endorsed candidate won their seat last fall. This means more pro-public education legislation will be passed at the county and state levels. With a new governor who actually listens to educators, more funds are coming to schools to address long-standing needs. Our Montgomery delegation to the state have continued to be reliable supporters of our priorities, and the expansion of the county council and changes in leadership there are providing us with greater opportunities to influence outcomes. Finally, we've seen the inclusion of 2 new MCPS Board of Education members who are responsive to us and have taken an active role in improving the budget planning to truly address many of our concerns. Our collective voice has convinced elected officials and the public that it's time to reinvest in educators and the students we serve. We've won an historic increase in the MCPS fiscal 2024 budget presented by Superintendent McKnight and the board, and moved forward to the County Council by County Executive Mark Elrich. And for the first time in recent memory, we're organizing with 6 other county unions, the 3 MCPS unions and the police, firefighters, and county workers, to press for an education-only tax increase that will fund our wage increases and address staffing shortages. This show of solidarity demonstrates the improved effectiveness of our union in building coalitions to move an agenda forward. This fall, to gain support for educators during our contract negotiations and the budgeting process, we also have launched a major digital and outdoor media campaign, gathering thousands of signatures of support for our proposals from hundreds of community members. And we're continuing to make wins at the bargaining table as we fight for better wages, more planning time, and equitable funding across MCPS. Our neighbors and allies see us on the ground, in the community, working for all our students' success. And they are joining us in our fight for respect, better working conditions, better learning conditions, and fair compensation. This last year, we've had parents send emails to the County Council and Board of Education, and they have participated in 3 listening sessions and 3 town halls as they both hear us and then join us to demand a reinvestment in our public schools. As we look to the year ahead, much remains to be done to build on the progress we've achieved so far. But no matter what obstacles we face, whether it's management, unfriendly elected leaders, or internet bigots, when we work in solidarity, our power is immeasurable. While each of us is just one person, together we're all part of a huge network of people with a shared interest in opportunity, equity, and success for us educators and for our students. Together we make the world a better place, one community, one school, one classroom, and one student at a time. Our union is many things, but at our core, we are united for our kids, for our community, and for our shared future. As I close, I want to share a few words of thanks to each of us from Spencer, an MCPS student. Thank you for all that you do and have done. You are amazing. My skills have improved drastically. You made me feel better during a stressful year. I really appreciate how much you care for your students and want to help them. Good luck next year. You will do an amazing job.